In the beginning, God had already created the heavens, the earth, and all that lived in it. The animals roamed the land, the birds soared in the sky, and the oceans teemed with life. But still, there was something missing. The world was beautiful, yet there was no one to tend to it, no one to share it with. God looked upon everything he had created and saw that it was good. But there was one thing that was not yet complete. "It is not good for man to be alone," God said. So, God decided to create a special being, someone to care for the earth, to reflect his image, and to live in fellowship with him. God formed a man from the dust of the ground, shaping him carefully with his hands. He molded Adam, his body from the soil, and then he breathed his very breath into his nostrils. With that breath, Adam came alive. His heart began to beat, and his eyes opened wide. God placed Adam in the Garden of Eden, a paradise filled with every kind of tree, from the tallest oak to the smallest flower. Rivers flowed, and the air was fragrant with the scent of blooming flowers and fresh fruit. It was a place of peace and abundance, where everything was perfect. "Take care of the garden," God told Adam. "You are free to eat from any tree, but there is one tree, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, that you must not eat from. For when you do, you will surely die." This command was not a restriction, but an invitation to trust God. Adam had everything he could ever need, yet this one tree was a choice to trust in God's wisdom or to make his own decisions. Adam knew that with trust came peace, but something was still missing. As Adam walked through the garden, he marveled at the beauty around him. There were lions and tigers, birds that chirped in the trees, and colorful fish swimming in the streams. But as he named each animal, Adam realized that none of them were like him. None could walk alongside him as a companion. God had made every living creature, but Adam was still alone. "It is not good for man to be alone," God said again, and this time he had a plan. God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. While he slept, God took one of his ribs and formed a woman from it. This woman was unlike any of the creatures Adam had seen before. She was crafted to be his equal, a companion, someone to share in the joy of the garden and the work of tending it. When Adam awoke, he saw the woman standing before him, and his heart filled with awe and joy. "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh," he said. "She shall be called woman, for she was taken out of man." And so, God created Eve, not from the dust of the earth, but from the very body of Adam, a sign of the deep connection between them. Eve was made to be his partner, to work alongside him in perfect harmony, and to share in all the blessings of the garden. Adam and Eve's relationship was beautiful. They were naked and felt no shame. There was no guilt, no fear, no confusion, just perfect unity and peace. They walked with God in the garden, enjoying his presence, talking with him, and delighting in the beauty of the world around them. It was the most perfect relationship, a reflection of the unity and love that God had with his creation. Adam and Eve were created to be one, not just in body but in spirit. They were made to complement each other. Together, they would care for the earth and live in harmony with all of creation. God gave them freedom to enjoy everything he had created. They could eat from any tree in the garden, but there was one tree they were not to touch, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. If they ate from it, they would die. God's command was not harsh. It was for their good. It was a way to protect them, to teach them trust. To trust God was to live in harmony with him. Everything was in place for Adam and Eve to live in peace. They had work to do, but it was good work, and they had each other to share it with. The story of Genesis 2 is one of love, beauty, and peace. It's a story of creation and companionship, of unity between God, man, and woman. Adam and Eve were made to reflect God's image, to walk in his presence, and to care for the world he made. In the garden, there was no conflict, no suffering, and no sin. There was only peace, joy, and the freedom to live in harmony with each other and with God. Adam and Eve were meant to live in this perfect relationship forever. But the peace of Eden, as we know, would not last. Genesis 2 is a beautiful picture of what God intended for humanity. A relationship of love and trust, a world full of beauty, and a deep connection between man, woman, and the Creator. It shows us that humanity was created for companionship, purpose, and perfect harmony with God and the world around them. This moment in time in the Garden of Eden was as close to heaven on earth as we could imagine. A perfect world where everything was as God intended it to be. If you enjoy the content on this channel, please like and subscribe to keep the channel growing.